What's up everyone, this is Blue Eye again and welcome to 6 or 5 different levels of the first Autoscroller in Golden Ridge A-side in the Celeste any percent, but like any speedrun that goes past this part, which is anything but all hard sort of. Yeah, pretty much almost every category uses this. So alright, let's get to number 0. Just taking the block. Yeah. Of course, taking the block is the way people did this the first time around. You might even grab the berry. So that's why it's number 0. It's not really, you know, a thing. You can finish the room in 13.7. Level 1. The extended hyper. The strat dating all the way back to March 2018. Where you use an extended hyper while aligned with the background in order to get across with the block pushing us. The visual cue being this rock right here. This red rock being the moment of having using takeoff, if you will. Extended hyper from that point, and you will make it to the end and save around 2.5 seconds. Level 2, Hyper Bunny Hop. So why use an extended hyper if we can Hyper B-hop earlier and make it? So again, we're gonna bring the block down and this time step off earlier, and we're gonna use this connection between the green, good color, the purple and the black ground here. Right when Madeline is pushed across this line is when we try to do a quick hyper without extending and then bunny hopping off the ground again. From this point you have to hold jump and down, because if you don't have a crouched hitbox you will bonk on anywhere in the level, and that's how you can save some more time than the original extended hyper. Here you go. Level 3. Ultra off the block. So we can hyper with the block pushing us, but what if we just do an ultra dash from on top of the block and add a wall bounce at the end? That way we can save even more time compared to the 13 seconds we started at. The lineup you're looking for here is that the bottom of the block has to align with the floor. Then you are high enough to get the full ultra momentum. If you're not sure why you're getting this or what an ultra fuck means, I think I explained it pretty well in my previous video about Revo's nonsense. But right when you hit this vine in the background is when you want to start your ultra dash, because in this case otherwise you will not get a jump off the floor. Again, be sure to hold down, as you will need this crouching hitbox to not bonk against the ceiling. Then at the end you do an up dash to poke through the hole and try to get a wall bounce as well, if you can manage it. There you go. Level 4, Ceiling Pop. Alright, this is the part where we stop using the block altogether and do certain blockless strats, which is the Ceiling Pop. Now this one will take the longest to explain because of the Ceiling Pop technique itself. So when Madeline tries to climb jump on a wall like this while she's sliding off, you can sometimes get what is called a ceiling pop, where you still get the climb jump even though there was no wall that was grabbable. So you're kind of grabbing a thing below the wall. And this is a subpixel dependent thing. So it's kind of hard for me to show, but let me try to show it right that's a ceiling pop. The way we can utilize this is by starting here, doing a hyper bunny hop to get into here with a dash, and then arriving at this spot. After doing a full climb jump here, our subpixel will always be set to 0, 0, which allows us to do this lineup. After you reset your subpixel, hold right and slide off and stop holding grab. So you stop holding grab, you slide off. And then you get to this point. And this point, you want to do a climb jump right when you scoot below the corner. And it is important that you press it late. You cannot buffer this climb jump. Then it will not work. After the climb jump, so there it didn't work because buffered. After the climb jump, you have a 2-frame window to dash upright and make it to the end. Either with a corner jump or by just barely not hitting the corner and making it on the other side. If you use a diagonal demo dash, then you have a bigger frame window to make it. And that's the ceiling pop. And this will save quite a bit of time over you not doing the block. And plus you get the berry, which makes this the most used. This makes it the go-to strat in all red berry categories. Final level, the Chad Ultra. The long to be thought of as a TAS only trick. You can actually make it to the end without using the block and without the ceiling pop, also known as the Chad Ultra. What you have to do is a grounded ultra. So you have to do an extended hyper and then ultra right back into the ground. And if you hold down, you realize you keep sliding for a bit. What you want to do is use this sliding momentum as long as you can, because the moment you jump, you will go back to hyper momentum. So you want to slide as long as you can, and then utilize coyote frames at the very edge. So coyote time in this game means that you have 4 frames after leaving the ground where you can still jump. Right here, you can see the dust of my jump was way beyond where the floor ended. So we want to utilize this, so by sliding along the ground with our ultra speed as long as possible and using the maximum coyote time as possible, so 4 frames, we can actually start our hyper from around here. Yeah, roughly speaking. And that allows us to conserve enough momentum to make it to the end. And barely make it with an upright dash corner jump. Like this. So when you put it all together, this is what you get. This, as you can see, if we now put all the completed strats with their times back to back, as is happening right now, you can see the amount of time save you can get by slightly improving your strat each time. On the highest of highest levels, people mostly do the ceiling pop. Slightly below the top level, so at high level, you see most people do the ultra strat. And in the very, very, very extreme IL only levels, you actually see the ultra in the end. And it's really interesting to me to see how we've gone from an extended hyper with the block pushing us to not using the block at all. If there's any more questions, feel free to leave them in comments down below, and maybe even a room or strat evolution for a different room in any percent, because it was I just found it fun that there's so many different levels of optimizations in this one auto scroller room. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!